Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Salute to LTTV in the building, man.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Nobody's LT, and I'm certainly not implying that.
Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Salute to LTTV in the building, man.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Nobody's LT, and I'm certainly not implying that.
LT cooking your ass. LTTV, whatever his channel name is called. I'm sorry for being the dusty. How about that?
If y'all want to keep up with the news and this shit be going on, subscribe to LTTV. That nigga know everything about everything. I ain't gonna lie.
No, wasn't plaintiff informed, believed, or is alleged. Why did he write like this?
Because you want the language to be precise.
Oh, this is so annoying.
It's not annoying if you know how to read it.
I'm reading it, but it's just like,
precise.
All that make a thing hiding, what is so plain to see? Bitch, you a
is this the actual? I don't think this is what I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
this what it is we are entirely too litigious, and this kind of junk is what's clogging up the courts.
ugly bitch and ugly child. Karma is kicking your ass.
And providing lawyers who aren't really prepared to operate in a court environment because they're too inexperienced.
Ain't gonna let the bullshit pass. You a monkey. You a monkey.
The opportunities to make an enormous sum of money by playing on people's emotions, whereas those people who really need to be able to get into court can't afford it, or the courts are too crowded.
But if you on YouTube, you see these stories and you be like, what the fuck is this?
And they almost got into an argument when the one guy said,
They were standing up, and one of them was saying he had a beard, and he said, here,
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, let's get right into this one. Okay, so Judge Joe Brown and I think her name is The Real Dana. They're responding to the lawsuit filed by Anton Daniels' family, his daughter and his wife. Now, Anton Daniels tries to separate himself from this lawsuit, but you can clearly see that he's behind this. Now, this is pathetic work as they review it. I'm gonna basically sum this up before we get into this. He looks at this lawsuit like this is a waste of time. This is a bunch of bored lawyers trying to take advantage of people that are emotional. because Anton has the money to file the lawsuit, but he's going to have to have the money to pay for Corey Holcomb's lawyers, because this looks like a minimal judgment. Now, if you pay attention to the lawsuit, they're filing for a minimum of $35,000. The minimum, $35,000. When you listen to everything that Judge Joe Brown is speaking about, he's like, this is a minimal judgment. You might win just to piss the person off and run them through the money of paying through the lawyers, but you'll win a minimal judgment, like $1 judgment. And at that point, you are not meeting the threshold of what the hell you are actually suing for. He will end up having to pay for Corey Holcomb's lawyers at the end of this. This is a pathetic lawsuit. I said it in my last stream because there's so much evidence mounting against Anton that doesn't work for Anton because of his behavior on the platform, including his wife. His wife's trying to act like she is not a public figure while doing many public streams, earning income on YouTube, on Anton streams, being a source of the news that he had an interview with Stephen A. Smith, being on the line for that. The interview she had with Six the Goddess. We have many examples. We pulled up some from the last live stream. We're not going to do that today. We'll get into the breakdown from Judge Joe Brown speaking on the case, because there are some points here that went over a lot of people's heads. Let's get into it.
I am, and
Yeah, or you said you sucked the you know what of Democrats, and then the other guy was like, say it again. They was about to come to blows, but they didn't. And so after that, it was a lot of back and forth from both sides, creating content on it. It's kind of a big fallout because people were talking about it for over a month. So Corey.
Now we're in April. This happened in January. People are still talking about it. You're seeing various videos come out to this day. So yeah. After
that, created T-shirts, and I think I mentioned this to you, of Anton Daniels' wife and daughter and him, and depicted them as monkeys, right? As ugly chimpanzees and monkeys, like Planet of the Apes. And during one of his shows, when he was talking about his family, you know, he brought up his wife. He put a picture of the wife, put a picture of the daughter up on the screen or whatever. And the daughter is 17. And then he created.
Now, the daughter is currently 18. I had the daughter and the wife and Anton in my last thumbnail because of the lawsuit. Folks got in the chat speaking all sorts of bullshit. I'm like, listen, the daughter is 18. She was 17 at the time when Corey Holcomb called her out of her name. Nonetheless, she's 18 now. She's in the thumbnail. She's limited. What do you call them shits? God damn, I should have the damn paperwork in front of me. Oh! She is not a part-time. What is the legal term for it? Nonetheless, she's still some sort of public figure, not a limited. What's it called? A limited. God damn it, man, we fucking up. I'll remember shortly, chat.
Created T-shirts of his family, including Anton, as Planet of the Apes. So apparently, as of recent, and let me share this right here, Anton's wife, not Anton, but Anton's wife is...
No, Anton's behind this. Anton's wife is not randomly suing Corey Holcomb after she went up on Tasha K and said, well, it got us here. I don't care about anything that's being said on the internet. And then Anton speaks on his wife saying, yeah, she doesn't hear anything. And then you come up with this bogus ass lawsuit. Like, get out of here, man.
Is suing Corey Holcomb. And it says here, plaintiff Leslie Daniels, at all times herein mentioned as an individual residing in Detroit, Michigan. Plaintiff is African-American, was 17 years old, and a senior in high school, at all times mentioned in this complaint. Sarita
see how they're wording it, in all times mentioned in this complaint, because at the time of the incident, she's no longer a 17-year-old. Mind you, she's an Olympian.
Daniels at all times mentioned in this complaint. Leslie is Anton's daughter. Sarita is Anton's wife. Upon information and belief, defendant Corey Lamont Holcomb at all times mentioned the individual with residence and place of business in Los Angeles, California. Upon information, belief at all times, defendant Corey Holcomb produced and appeared on a weekly podcast. I don't think I need to read all that.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't have to read all that. I want to get into the commentary from Judge Joe Brown, because we've heard from lawyers. We heard from YouTube lawyers such as the lead attorney speaking on this case. It's great to have a judge, somebody that practiced law for years, who was an actual judge, speak on this case.
I'm trying to get to the complaint. Plaintiffs are informed and believe.
And one thing about it, Plaintiff Leslie Daniels and plaintiff Sharita Daniels were named by Anton, brought up on Anton's platform many times on a publicly accessible platform where Anton is very visible, has over 1 million subscribers. What is he at, 1.5 at this point? Corey Holcomb has not mentioned their name. He never once said Leslie Daniels or Sharita Daniels as he made this monkey bullshit. We'll get into the video later, but let's get into this.
And no, wasn't plaintiff informed, believed, or is alleged. Why do they write like this?
Because you want the language to be precise.
Oh, this is so annoying.
It's not annoying if you know how to read it.
I'm reading it, but it's
precise.
just like, yeah, so it says true names and capacities, whether individual, corporate, representative, or otherwise, does 1 through 25 inclusive or unknown a plaintiff who therefore sue them by such fictitious names, plaintiff will seek leave to amend this complaint to show the true names and capacity of said defendants when they are ascertained. Plaintiffs are informed and believe that thereon alleged that each of the defendant named as DOE, along with the named defendant responsible. Is this the actual? I don't think this is what I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
this what it is we are entirely too litigious, and this kind of junk is what's clogging up the courts and providing lawyers who aren't really prepared to operate in a court environment because they're too inexperienced the opportunities to make an enormous sum of money by playing on people's emotions, whereas those people who really need to be able to get into court can't afford it.
Now, as you say this comment right here, where's the lie? What has he said yet that has been a lie? Everything he said is spot on facts. We've reviewed this case. We know the ins and outs of this case. We know we are the insiders as it pertains to Anton's bullshit activity on YouTube. We've seen everything. The deleted videos, the things he thought he got away with, the doxing of Lakeisha Keisha, everything. So we've seen him crash out on people's children. We've seen everything. All the context is not lost with us. We're like, come on, man. Anton, this is the weakest pile of bullshit. If he has a lawyer that's ready to bring up all the files and all the bullshit that you've been propagating on this platform, and then you want to be the victim while calling out everybody for victim Olympics, while being the villain and everything, it's not going to go well for Anton.
Or the courts are too crowded. This kind of stuff, who really need to be able to get into court can't afford it, or the courts are too crowded. This kind of stuff, it's sublimely stupid or it's entertaining, depending upon your point of view. It ranges from President Andrew Jackson trying to literally murder some people and fighting duels where he mortally wounded a person or two for saying his wife was divorced, which she was, but that was supposed to be a grievous insult back then, to something that we used to find in my day and time is our primary form of entertainment when we got bored at school. We'd run to dozens. Hey, man, I don't say nothing but your mama, man. Hey, man, your mama look like she out the planet of the apes, man. I don't want to say nothing, man. They gave her the part right away. She didn't even have to hardly do no audition because they say she didn't need no makeup or no costume, man. See, we used to do that all the time from elementary school, junior high school, I guess they'd call it middle school now, and high school. That was our entertainment. But, these folk now, man, it's all about my mama, man. Man, calm down, man. So what? You see, and then there's this case, New York Times versus Sullivan, 1962, United States Supreme Court. And it kind of laid it out. And I think people are too full of themselves these days to understand the humor. And it was like,
It's Anton's ego. Anton got defeated on the big stage. He got cooked. People pointed out that he keeps talking about his money, talking about the manosphere talking points to provide and protect. And folks pointed out that he has not provided any type of protection for his wife and his daughter as he continually puts them out on the platform to get fried and cooked by various folks because he goes in on other people's families and he starts all these problems as an internet gangster. So Anton wants to play both sides of the fence. He wants to play the villain and the victim, and then he puts his family in harm's way. They get cooked by a comedian in a comedic form or fashion. See, people want to call Corey Holcomb an idiot, including myself. I called him an idiot for various activities that he's performed on this platform. But the one thing that he was smart about was putting the insults in form of music. Have fun suing somebody for a comedic song insulting you. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
One of the ways of getting somebody off your back in elementary school was if they were talking about you and you got upset, you could guarantee that they wouldn't leave you alone. But if you act like no big thing and talk about their folk back, you know, that just became friendly banter. So I think it's overwhelmed, and I think we've got too much sissification in our society.
Sissification in our society. Anton, you hear that? You a bitch, nigga. He said too much sissification. You know you're damn well behind this damn lawsuit. You ain't fooling anybody. It's not just your daughter and your wife jumping out the blue, knowing the things that you do on this platform, embarrassing your wife with Mika and that whole escapade that went on. What are we doing out here, bruh? We know it's you. That's why he's sissification. He says it goes for men and women, but this is pathetic, bruh. You got some lawyers to get in your ear and talk some bullshit, say you got a case, try to fuck up Corey's money because you think that you could just spend this money. Corey's gonna be tied up in some litigation. He's gonna have to spend money. You're gonna make him stress. Meanwhile, you're gonna have to pay for his lawyers when this is all said and done. This is an L, bro. Like, what do you think this is? Nobody's gonna engage in any type of conversation or collaboration with Anton Daniels as he continues to ascend on this platform because he's such a bitch-made nigga that's trying to sue people after these engagements. He went there talking about this is chess, not checkers. I planned this. This is my biggest W, blah, blah, blah. And it resulted in a lawsuit. You went there to antagonize, troll the man, and get an internet moment. And then when it didn't work out for you, you're in court, bruh? You're in court?
Get dude off the screen.
Oh, God.
Get dude off the screen, man. Who the fuck is that, bitch?
And that can apply male or female. You know, we get too sensitive.
Facts.
So they initiated it. They're the men in their life. They put this fool show on.
They initiated it. They got hundreds of thousands, millions of views after this situation because of the visibility that it provided for his platform. His wife bragged about getting on Tasha K. Tasha K asked his wife, don't you mind all the things that are being said about you on the internet? She says, no, I don't give a shit about this. It got us here. Anton sat on the platform, said the same thing. You don't give a shit about this. It's all entertainment. It's all content. And then you end up in court. Mixed messages, sir. This is not gonna work for you man, please. Especially if you bring a jury out, people with some sort of common sense, a semblance of common sense, a scintilla of common sense. Come on, man.
In one sense.
So here's the question, because this is the wife suing Corey for depicting.
I know. Yeah.
Does she have a case?
I don't know. I'd say on the New York Times v. Sullivan, no. And
he said, I don't know, but under the New York Times v. Sullivan, no.
Yeah.
Does she have a case?
I don't know. I'd say on the New York Times v. Sullivan, no. And the other thing is it becomes symbolic, symbolism, and, you know, it's one of those cases where, okay, the plaintiff wins and gets $1 damages.
Is it worth it?
Well, let's put it this way. It's bullshit, and it ties up.
It's bullshit, and it ties up the court with some fuckery because this nigga wants to spend some money because he thinks he can. That's the thing about Anton, man. We got to see them books. This nigga cooking the books because all he speaks about is the money he spends more than the money he earns. Makes no sense, man.
Damages.
Is it worth it?
Well, let's put it this way. It's bullshit, and it ties up the courts. We don't want to fund an adequate court system. And we are anxious to select judges who are too inexperienced to really be holding their positions. And we popularized being lawyers to the extent that we've got way too many.
That's facts. We have lawyers that are lawyers just for name of being lawyers, never practice law. There's a reality show that my woman watches. What is it called? Some housewives bullshit. This woman Phaedra, who's a lawyer but never practices law, just to have the fancy title of lawyer. It's like, what are we doing out here, man?
Well, the caseload that's out there, and then the caseload is backed up because the prices that have to be charged to keep the doors open have gotten entirely too high because there's not a sufficient volume going through the typical lawyer's office. And then you have these national ads about something and something, which are not really law firms. They're franchises like Mickey D's, and they won't take a case that needs to go to trial. They'll take something that can be settled, and then you don't get a very big settlement for that. But
that is the absolute facts. Everything he's saying, this went over a lot of folks' head. There's a lot of these predatory law firms, these name brand law firms, the something and somethings. We're not going to say the names, clearly. He knows what you don't want to say their names like that. You'll end up being sued for trying to, call them out, hold them accountable for their fuck shit. But they're really not trying to make anything go to trial. It is all trying to get something settled, some bullshit ass settlement. And what settlement do you think you're getting out of this? What lawyer talked Anton into this? This is like one of them lawyers that speak a spouse into some sort of divorce settlement when there's an ironclad prenup involved, and then the other spouse is like, no, we can do something because the dumbass lawyer spoke them into it. So they're milking all their money, and then they end up losing the divorce, losing most of their money to the lawyers, feeling like a goddamn idiot because they're trying to take advantage of somebody else's pockets. This sounds like one of those. It's like, what are you doing? Which lawyer spoke you into this? You don't have a case. We have you on air in 4K saying this is all content. I don't care about what is being said. It's getting me higher and propelled to other platforms where I'm being interviewed by Tasha K. How does this work for you, Rita? It doesn't. Do I have to pull up the video? We reacted to it in the last stream. It doesn't help her. This emotional distress, the uncle speaking on the daughter saying that they don't give a fuck about none of this shit, and then they're faking it for the lawsuit. Like, what are we doing out here? Y'all are not meant to be famous. Y'all, like, when I look at this shit, I'm like, yo, Anton, he's still stuck in the dusty underworlds, the panel underworlds, where everything needs to be controlled and people are complaining about ad hominem insults. It's like, you are supposed to be a celebrity now. This comes with the bullshit. You don't get to talk about emotional distress and what was the other shit? Defamation for people making monkey jokes. I don't fuck with the monkey jokes because it's anti-black as a black person. But nonetheless, lawsuit, nigga.
Don't fucking touch me!
I won't mention them because I don't want to be subject to another bullshit law action. But it's gotten out of hand.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question. If he would have sold the T-shirts depicting his family as Planet of the Apes and made a profit,
We don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
Now she's just doing her due diligence by running through it, but because I know she believes this case is bullshit as well. But we don't care. He did sell the shirts. He did make a profit. According to him, he sold out all them damn shirts. But not one point in time did he say, this is Rita, this is Leslie, this is Anton. He just put together the shirt while dissing Anton, and he didn't outline and have any names to these people. It's just a shirt.
would that make the case stronger?
No, it wouldn't. It's
Sold the T-shirts depicting his family as Planet of the Apes and made a profit. Would that make the case stronger?
No, it wouldn't. It's like, okay, how often do we have political cartoons in the middle of the editorial section of the newspaper where they depict a political, social, media?
More facts. Didn't Anton take credit for getting Trump elected by saying he made Trump win Michigan? He said that. He said his push allowed Trump to win Michigan.
Sports character negatively or depict somebody as a snake or a lizard or a vulture or something like that. I mean, just because you put somebody out is looking like something out of a chimp out of Planet of the Apes, well, that's not saying that it would not be astute commentary on what's going on. So
now this was uncalled for. This also went over various folks' heads because he said it may be astute commentary on what's going on. So he might put those pictures up and put those women into perspective and say, yeah, this is actually accurate. They look like chimps. That's what this statement says, and that is fucked up.
Planet of the Apes, well, that's not saying that it would not be astute commentary on what's going on. So, yeah, again, I have a sneaking suspicion.
That's just like my kids are not underage, but my grandkids are, and somebody trying to find a picture of them and then depicting them in a, inappropriate manner. Now,
inappropriate manner? He put up the picture of her with the United States flag around her head with some medals won on the Olympic level. And he said,
"Get dude off the screen."
Oh, God.
Get dude off the screen, man. Who the fuck is that? This motherfucker cat. I'm the captain now. Look at it. Hey, look.
Very disrespectful, but also comedic. Some people found that funny. Some people did not. I tried to not laugh when he said,
"Get dude off the screen."
It was very disrespectful, but I could not laugh. I could not hold in the laugh in that moment, although I've seen it 3 times prior. When I got on air, it was impossible for me to contain it. It's just life. Some things are funny. You don't want to be too emotional over these things and sensitive. It is what it is. I don't get down with the monkey jokes, but
get dude off the screen.
That shit was funny. That shit was funny. I'm sorry, man.
Meaning, let's say Planet of the Apes, but if it's inappropriate, something sexual, then that's something totally different in a court of
something sexual.
Law,
not really. No, it's not. It depends on what it is. Like right now, it used to be a grievous insult to call somebody a homosexual. Okay, if the person really were
I'm gonna talk about a minor.
No, it doesn't make any difference, minor or adult. This is from the New York State Supreme Court.
See, this is why it's great to have an actual judge refer information. We have all these dumbass niggas with mics on YouTube espousing rhetoric as if they're the arbiter of truth, as if they have an idea of what's going on because they have their narrative slant, their clickbaity narrative slant. I think I got a little bit of clickbaity slant going on right now, but it is what it is. An actual judge.
If somebody was called a homosexual and it was not true, that was a grievous insult subject to civil damages. But in New York, they ruled that there's nothing insulting about being called a homosexual, so it's not actionable. You can't sue anybody for calling you a homosexual, even if you happen to be a normal person. And you... homosexual, so it's not actionable. You can't sue anybody for calling you a homosexual, even if you happen to be a normal person.
See, another thing that went over folks' heads. He said, even though you happen to be a normal person. He didn't say a straight person. He said a normal person. What does that imply about the gays?
And you say, I'm grievously offended and I want to bust him right in his jaw for calling me that. So,
hey, yo, bust him right in his jaw.
Stick together. Pause.
You know, it depends on where you happen to be and what kind of silly season is in effect at that time.
So, but you cannot, and this has nothing to do with the Anton Daniels, Corey Holcomb lawsuit. It has nothing to do with that. I'm just giving a different example here. You cannot take a picture of a minor and put that picture of a minor in any type of sexual position.
Well,
He did not put a picture of a minor in any type of sexual position. That's not what happened in the stream. The stream is still publicly available on YouTube. It wasn't taken down for any cyberbullying, harassment, any child safety policy or anything, because she's an athlete performing an Taekwondo, and it was a picture of her holding up the medal and the flag. It wasn't any type of gross sexualization of a minor. It wasn't a video of her on a school grounds doing anything that would get dinged by the Child Safety Act. It was none of that. So it's good. That's what I'm saying. When that point right there on YouTube, like, it's easier when you want to sue somebody and it's something that violates YouTube's terms and guidelines, and it's cyberbullying and harassment, and then you go to the courts for distress, emotional distress. I know YouTube don't work in conjunction with the court. It's just a lot easier to prove that with that already that precedent already set.
If what about this kid?
Let me just finish.
Go ahead.
That. Because you have a lot of people who are putting, that minor porn on these websites, which is against the law. Is that the same? Is that different? You cannot take a minor and depict them in any type of sexual.
The answer is it depends. Now, remember a few years back when they had this 12, 13-year-old little freak who was going around being a tranny and performing on stage in New York and all of these. You remember that? Now, what happens if somebody made an editorial comment about that particular child doing what is in fact something that is a reality that the child, and I guess a parent or something, brags about, that he's a little, what do they call them when they do that kind of stuff? Drag queen.
Oh, drag queen, yes.
Yeah, so he's been a little drag queen, so supposedly you put out a cartoon implicating him for being a drag queen. You see what I'm saying? Truth in a defamation action is always an absolute defense. And what goes on is, well, let's say in this case, let's suppose that when somebody saw an actual picture of the children, somebody started laughing. Man, they ain't gonna lie, but they do kind of look like they could play in the Planet of the Apes, I mean, it may be. I hate to say it, but there are ugly children, Richard.
You're a victim.
There we go, CSI.
You can play in the Planet of the Apes, I mean, it may be. I hate to say it, but there are ugly children, Red Fox used to say, follow an ugly kid home, you find some ugly parents,
What?
And you know what?
Wait, what type of predatory follower are you?
Because, first of all, this
on.
is social media. You are a public figure, if you're a content creator such as myself. And the guy, Corey Holcomb, he's a comedian. So he was making a joke about somebody's family. And other apes. So that all plays a factor to where, okay, this lawsuit is not going to go anywhere because you have a comedian making fun of a whole family. It was nothing sexual. It was nothing, provocative. I'm talking about in the worst kind, depicting a minor. It was none of that. Making a joke of a family, painting them as Planet of the Apes. So,
I mean, they offended a child. Oh, my God. Yeah, but look what you do raising your child. They let them get all out of hand. They're growing up to be little monsters who are out of control. Who is doing the disfavor to the children? You, who's promoting this dysfunctionality, or somebody that's talking about them?
Yeah, he definitely promotes it. Because when that white woman called a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word, Anton deflected talking about, white people are just mad because of black, what was the shit called again? Black fatigue. Black people have been doing X, Y, and Z all over the country, being left unaccountable, so these white folks are mad at them. And he deflected and doubled down and defended the white lady for calling a child the N-word, as he badgers and talks shit about other communities and other people's children, and then he wants to play the victim. but it's all entertainment and it all elevates you to a level. This is gross. This is filthy work, man.
But I will say this: the minor daughter here, she is 17, but still a minor. She is nowhere, never have been in the public eye. So,
well, yeah, it happens.
She's a private.
Nope, that is incorrect. She is a limited purpose public figure. As an athlete, as an Olympic athlete with over 200 medals, she's now currently 18 years old. She's been on Anton Daniels' platform because Anton's an idiot. He loves to put his children and his wife out on his platform. I hope he deleted the video by now. His wife also has videos of the daughter on her Facebook and many other publicly accessible social media platforms, just dusting it up, just being out here, just trying to be famous and shit. So it's like, I don't know what y'all thought, but it's not going to defend y'all in the court of law. Like,
families have always suffered for what somebody else in the family has done. So,
i.e., the
yeah, and see, also considering the individuals in question, is this for real or is it another PR stunt to ramp up ratings and social media income?
And that's what I thought initially. When I first seen this, I'm like, this is some bullshit. Anton has the money to just waste the money on this bullshit ass lawsuit, treat it as a loss leader so he can be more available and seen in the algorithm. But this will be to his detriment. This is an awful look. When folks try to clown Drake for what he did to Kendrick, when he complained about the diss track and he tried to sue the labels and everything for their malpractice because he was aware of the malpractice. They're going to get away with everything in the labels. The music industry is disgusting. But nonetheless, people looked at that as he was trying to sue him for the individual diss track. It's filthy work. It looks nasty. So Anton gets the brunt of the exchange, takes the L. Now he's trying to sue. It looks disgusting. He's not going to win. The case has no legs. And then the look, the visual, the optics of the situation doesn't help you. You want to be more visible in the algorithm. You want to be a celebrity, but not want to have celebrity consequences. He wants to be like a regular private figure, or a private citizen, I should say, while having public figure benefits, visibility, and fame. It makes no sense. Villain and victim, confused ass, bitch ass nigga, Anton Daniels.
So you can look at it that way.
Now, let me ask you this one last question. Because this is filed in Los Angeles, and I'm sorry, California,
Lord.
y'all have and the lawyers out there know how to get that money. So does that play a factor in these type of lawsuits because it's Los Angeles?
It is so crowded out there that the lawyers have to subscribe to what used to be a pager service, and they got a 48-hour notice that they would be put on a 2-hour notice. You couldn't tell when it would occur, and you had to pay attention to your pager so you could show up in court in 2 hours flat with your client. So you had to make sure that your client and your witnesses, which was just about impossible, were going to be there on 2 hours notice after you gave them a 2-day notice, no telling when this was going to occur. The other thing, in Los Angeles, you have this problem. The California is so flat, broke, busted that they cannot afford to pay but 3 days worth of court operations a week. So the judges donated a good chunk of their salaries back so the courts can stay open 4 days a week in civil court.
What kind of dustiness
and the
is
state
that?
can only afford 3 days a week. So you've got everything overloaded, and the cases that really need to be heard don't get heard. And in Los Angeles, they've got 13 judicial districts in Los Angeles. One of them is the Central District, which has gone to hell. And that's partly because they have a belief there that most of the heavyweight civil cases involving contracts and businesses are brought in the Central District. So you have to have special juries and jury pools for that district that you don't have for the rest of them. And heaven help somebody who is down and out getting a criminal case in that district. There's no telling what the devil might happen. So, yeah, great. California, you're too damn broke.
Yeah, but because they're not loose, but they're people like to file child support cases in California, divorce cases in California, because they always side with the woman. So it's
Not always.
but it seemed like you kind of could get away with a lot of things because it's LA and it's Hollywood. And
Yeah, and if the press would be a little more accurate and erudite in its reporting, that might be turned around. Lee Marvin was a former Marine. He got wounded in Iwo Jima, but he played a lot of early action adventure hero types, okay? And his girlfriend sued him not for alimony, but for what was termed palimony. She was his pal, whatever. And she got
Palimony?
What the hell was that?
Yo, folks is getting creative trying to extract some sort of financial benefits that are not deserved. What are we doing out here? I heard of palimony before. It's just filthy, man.
a $10 million judgment against him, and the papers made all kinds of front page hay off of that, all right? But what wound up happening is when it got to the California Supreme Court, they reduced the judgment to $10,000.
Of course, because it's ridiculous. Can we get these likes up? Chat, can we get these likes up? We're about to get into some news, chat.
So the papers didn't carry that, and you still have people trying to go in and claim enormous sums for palimony to the result of nobody telling them, hey, it just doesn't work that way. So it's a lot of stuff going wrong because of what the media does or does not do when it comes to fulfilling their First Amendment obligation of reporting accurately and keeping the public informed.
right. So that lawsuit probably won't go anywhere.
It sounds like a clown show.
You hear that? The lawsuit won't go anywhere. It sounds like a goddamn clown show.
Informed.
Right. So that lawsuit probably won't go anywhere.
It sounds like a clown show.
Like this hat. On the line, we have a woman who does journalistic type of stories on Twitter, and I've been wanting to have her on here. We were supposed to do this maybe a couple of months ago before all the drama jumped off, where everybody was coming after me. And it's like, I still been watching her. I ain't worried about this one. She can handle the drama. She is a...
We are going to get into that momentarily, but we have breaking news, chat. We have breaking news. So for some reason, Meg Thee Stallion confirms her split from Klay Thompson. She cites that trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable in a relationship for her. That is the words from Meg Thee Stallion. So Meg Thee Stallion has announced that she broke up with Klay Thompson, and she's saying that it's because of some cheating. Klay Thompson was emotional because Dallas is ass and they're dusting it up, so he was out here with other women, allegedly, according to Meg Thee Stallion. Now, it's funny how Meg Thee Stallion is always the victim in every incident. The singer, I thought she was a rapper. The singer tells TMZ via her rap, I've made the decision to end my relationship with Klay. Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship, and when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward. I'm taking this time to prioritize myself and move ahead with peace and clarity.
You're done.
Now, why is Klay getting slandered? Why couldn't you just break up and move your way? Why do we have to know these inner details of the situation? Now, she also says on her Instagram 8 minutes ago, Shade Room reported this 2 hours ago. I'm slightly late, but it is what it is. We're on time. She says, cheating. Had me around your whole family playing house. Got cold feet holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. Bitch, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. That's what she's saying. So she's framing herself as the victim. Clay's a cheater. His mood swings, all this bullshit.
Just like a woman.
And to me, after everything that we've heard from Meg Thee Stallion, I don't want to hear any of this personally. I don't care. You guys broke up. Great. Whoop-de-doo. Whenever a couple gets in front of the camera and tries to prove how happy they are to the public, my first thought is always,
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
like, we don't care. First of all, you're trying to play happy. People are basically making bets of how long the relationship will last when we see that type of shit. And then it goes south, and now she's the victim to Clay's fuckery and his booty clapping.
Booty clapping sound.
Oh my God.
I personally don't care. If he was cheating, she was cheating, I don't give a shit. Their relationship ended, move on. Trying to paint somebody as a villain for their next endeavor, we don't care. That's some corny ass shit. Meg's always the damn victim. In my city, they're always saying free Tory. It is what it is, man.
A journalistic type of YouTuber, and I just appreciate what she does because I believe she comes with research and the truth. Sister, can you hear us?
Hear you, Corey. I can hear you. I can see you.
She is from Milwaukee, right down the street from Chicago, by the way, when she told me that on the phone. Keisha, can you let everybody know who you are and your line on social media so they can see you? Because you have the most authentic show out there. You learn as you go, and you be saying, y'all, I got to learn how to work this right, but I'm going to get it.
Now, this is Lakeisha Keisha, who did a collab with Corey Holcomb. Lakeisha Keisha called Anton's daughter and his wife ugly 20 to 30 times within the span of like 20 minutes on her stream after Anton doxed her. She got her get back. She cooked the shit out of their family. We don't see a lawsuit there. We know Anton's trying to take advantage of this situation, trying to get back at Corey Holcomb because he feels like he took the L. It's just filthy work, man.
Love that about you. Keisha, what's up?
Thank you. I appreciate it. So you said Twitter, Corey. I'm not really on Twitter.
I'm
on
sorry. YouTube, that's right.
YouTube. So my channel is Lakeisha Keisha. I do have TikTok and Twitch, Facebook and Instagram is still Lakeisha Keisha, but my main source of social media is YouTube. And I actually started YouTube, it's going to be 3 years ago, but I started just doing something, having fun. And I really didn't know that it was going to become anything. I was literally just having fun. So
I think that's why it became something, because you were just literally having fun doing organic content. 3 years in the size of the channel that she's at right now. She wasn't grifting it down initially. I don't know if she's grifting it down now. I didn't track the whole progression of her channel to see the consistency of the channel. But if what she's saying is true, that's why she got to the size that she got to. Because it's like she was doing organic content. She wasn't like doing something for the grift or whatever. And then there's also a level of talent that comes into the titling and the thumbnails to grow that fast in 3 years.
when I started it, I did not expect anything out of it, but I said, okay, I'm gonna do this, make a few dollars, and that was it. So it actually grew to something that I did not expect, to be honest.
Lakeisha, do you have a daughter who's an attorney?
My daughter is graduating. She's going to go to law school, so she's graduating actually next month. Yeah.
I say that because I can tell, like, you ain't just one of these people out here running your mouth. You have wisdom, sister, and it is so appreciated and necessary on the internet with the people who have no wisdom. And I ain't trying to talk about nobody in particular, but if you on YouTube, you see these stories and you be like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
I appreciate the way you put effort into what you do.
Well, thank you. I try to be fair, but I'm human. Sometimes, you know, I'm just like everybody else. I'm not always fair, but I do try to be fair because I believe one thing that I do have is the ability to know when people is lying and on bullshit. It just comes natural. So I think that is what made this whole YouTube thing go into another direction. Cause I'm like, this is some garbage. Like, this is a lie. You know what I mean? Like, some things just don't add up.
Well, it's YouTube. I think the problem with a lot of viewers on YouTube is they lack media literacy. So they see something and they'll send their people some videos and be like, look, this is absolute. There's a video about it on YouTube. Some idiot through a screen is telling me, so it has to be factual. And it's like, oh my God. It's like, who are these niggas? Like,
So, but thank you for having me. I appreciate you for reaching out to me, for having me on your show. I appreciate that.
No, Keisha, let me tell you something. I'm telling you, I don't be on YouTube all day long, but I do watch YouTube sometimes. It's like, okay, it is what it is. Like I say, most of the time I just have to go find the old school music and listen. But we are in a time where bad information runs rampant.
Right.
It's bad information.
and see, about 5 to 10 years ago, there was a lot of misinformation because people were just getting things wrong. Now there's purposeful and meaningful disinformation where people are running complete fuckery to run a narrative that is complete false, fabricated, to just try to get some sort of grift or whatever the hell their intention is. They're just running purposeful disinformation. It's filthy work nowadays.
And all clickbait out there. And I don't know if we can keep living like this in a world where bad information is the majority of what is on the YouTube. And
see, it's not just YouTube, it's media in general. It's always the most sensationalized headlines, the things that can get the most views and clicks. It's not just YouTube, it's national news. They do it all the time. And the Canadian media is it's filthy work with the Canadian media. They hide so much shit that happens, and they just want to sensationalize the stories that they can get the biggest views off of. So the media it's very nasty, man.
I'm saying, like, I think they need to come up with some type of legislation where people are really held accountable for what they say about people, because a lot of times they don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? Honestly, before I got on YouTube, I would watch some channels, and before I educated myself on, sometimes people just be making up stuff. I really thought that the stuff that I was watching on YouTube was true.
Oh my God,
So
man.
This
is when she first got it's crazy that she came to YouTube with a level of questionable media literacy because she was buying some bullshit initially, but she grew on the platform, 100,000 plus subscribers, 3 years. That's a quick ascension. She's done a good job. I have to commend her on that. But damn, man, have some media literacy. That's one of the first things that I tackled on my journey on this platform. Was it 2022, 2023, 2024? That's not the beginning of the platform, but that's when I really spoke about a lot of the bullshit and deciphering a lot of the fuckery and the fake shit that goes on this platform. Separating the real from the fake from the facts, the narratives, the slants that people do for their grifts.
I believe a lot of people watch stuff and think that it's true. It took me to actually become a YouTuber, and I'd be like, no, they making it up. But prior to, I would see stuff and I would be like, well, it has to be true. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, like even my video right now, Anton Daniels to pay Corey Holcomb's lawyer fees. This is speculation, and this is an opinion based on the outcome of the lawsuit. If Anton Daniels loses this lawsuit, he will have to surely pay Corey Holcomb's lawyer fees. The back end of the title says Judge Joe Brown speaks. He absolutely spoke. We listened to him. He says that this seems like a bunch of garbage. Doesn't seem like there's much of a case here. That was my initial opinion, and with all the facts that I've accumulated, that's my opinion. This is an opinion piece. Some folks might read this and be like, oh my God, this is facts, not watch the video, watch the intro for 2 minutes, and then just report this as this fact. Like, this is YouTube. This is what we do out here.
Right. Yeah.
I agree.
It's y'all want to ask something? I ain't want to.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't just YouTube. Shit, CNN, motherfucking
yeah,
NBC, all the motherfuckers report
all the
false
motherfuckers.
shit. I mean, they do it even worse because they
way
shit
worse.
The fuck is Craig and cardio arrest over there? This one sweating like
already said it was too hot.
Hey, man, get a fan for Craig, man.
The motherfuckers got political agendas, you know what I'm saying? Rather than personal, so political agendas, they stretch a lot further than, motherfucking Tuscaloosa.
Well, that's a good point.
And people forget also on YouTube, a lot of those channels, it's personal opinion and a lot of speculating.
Majority of it is personal opinion and speculating. There's times where we have solid headlines and this is what the facts are, and then we're gonna speak on the facts. But then there's other times where it's just speculation and personal opinion. And then folks will present that to folks speaking confidently and as if it's facts, because that's what gets the most viewership. That's what gets people to have confidence in the speaker that they're listening to. It's all a finesse, man.
So, you see, and so people forget and they'll go, ooh, and let somebody catch a little snippet or a headline and they'll be like, it just grabs them and they go, okay, I'm going to watch this person. But remember I told you about 2 weeks before, you know, who came to the show? That dude. That's the one I mentioned, her channel. That's the lady I talked about. Yeah, I was like, oh, I like her channel.
I watch, and I watch, sometimes it's so hard to listen to some people. And this, like I say, I can't help it. I'm just speaking my opinion. But when I see...
No, that's fact. Sometimes it was very hard to listen to Corey Holcomb when he was talking that PDF fuckery. All them jokes, that was filthy work. Even getting through those comps, I'm like, ew, nigga, what the hell's wrong with you? What's wrong with your mind? Nasty work. And then his response. See, even as nasty and as filthy as those jokes were, if he doubled down on the jokes, made more of those jokes and been like, nigga, I'm a comedian, this is dark humor, and just did that, it would have been like, okay, this is what you do, although it's inappropriate and folks might feel uncomfortable about it. It is what it is. But the fact that he got all scared about it, started backpedaling, started making age-appropriate jokes and shit, it's like, bro, you were guilty of something, man. What kind of weird-ass takes were you having? And this fucking hat looks like cow udders or something. Like, what's going on out here? Let's get back into it, chat.
Somebody speaking, like, let me tell you something. People who make mistakes in front of us and say I'm making a mistake or I'm trying to get it together, those are the people I have more tolerance with than motherfuckers that sit there and fake it and act like they know everything. I be like, man, shut the fuck up, man. You a long way from America.
And I like how, Lakeisha, how you're, a lot of her, I guess you would call
Is that a shot at O'Shea? You a long way from America? What was that about?
what, lives? You do lives, or a lot of lives, right?
I do more videos. I have started to do some lives, but I do
so
more.
When I catch it, it seems like it's alive though when I catch it from you. But anyway, I like how you keep them at different time frames. So it's not like, okay, she's gonna be on there talking for 2 hours. I like the ones all of a sudden she just straight to the point. They'll be under 35 minutes.
And this gonna sound like I'm trying to be messy, but I'm not trying to be messy. I think Keisha is so courageous in her own point reporting of Monkey K, because it seems like a lot of people be scared to go up against this woman and tell the truth. And yo shit, I could tell she is not feeling you. And you ain't capping. You telling what's up for real. I'm telling you, I salute you for having the courage to not wanting to fit in with everybody else.
The problem with Tasha K is Tasha K has her minions and her winos scaring other content creators. You do a video about Tasha K, you react to her content, she has many of her winos in the comments talking about we're gonna get this taken down and blah blah blah. And we look at them and we're like, yo, if you don't get these dumbass motherfuckers out of the goddamn chat, like what are you talking about? But it deters some other folks. I don't give a shit, but it deters some other folks.
So that is one thing that I don't have. So I don't care what people think. Like, I was not raised like that. So I don't care if you like me or you don't. So that part was easy for me because I really don't care. So it's just
Say they ain't gonna do shit.
I never wanted to fit in. So I'm not the fit in type. If I don't fit in, then I wasn't meant to fit in because I'm just gonna be myself. So yeah.
Well, just know this, your page is growing and people are liking what you do, and we are glad that you came on our show and that our people can watch what you do. If they want to go to your YouTube, once again, where do they go?
Lakeisha Keisha.
Yeah. Well, y'all make sure when y'all scrolling through that YouTube thing, if you want to see a sister who ain't really trying to fit in with the sucker shit, Lakeisha Keisha, that's the one right there. Hey, Keisha, thank you. I'm so glad I finally got you on. Look, well, in the future, I want you to collab with me on some reporting and we talk about it on the show again. We'll have some stories.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me.
Thanks for staying up late, sister. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Now, see, let me tell you something.
Yeah, she covers a lot too. A lot of different.
She? I
lot
gotta
of different
check her
topics.
out. Yeah.
Hey, she ain't no punk, man. She ain't scared of them motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
And see, here on the 5150 show, we like to talk about the truth. Y'all got that video ready? We like to talk about the truth on the 5150 show as best we can. I'm sure there are people out there who gonna find something that I said that I might have been off a little bit about. Okay, all right. But the truth that we create on the show, well, y'all got the video ready? Play the video. The truth, ladies.
Wait, what the hell? I didn't notice this. What happened to this? That the AI failed. I never noticed. She just turned into a white woman all of a sudden. The hands got paler. The face changed. What the? When the?
It started trouble on the internet. Yes, you did, stupid bitch. I should quit. Oh, then y'all had a baby, and another primate was born. But that's what you get. 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 All that makeup ain't hiding what is so plain to see. Bitch, you a monkey.
Mind you, this video that he produced, this "You a Monkey" shit, this came out after the lawsuit was announced. So Corey Holcomb is not taking this shit seriously at all.
The 5150 show and start drama for view. That's what you do. That's what you do. Start drama for view. That's what you do. That's what you do. But all you really did was put your ugly offspring in the view. She looked like Bill Do. Looked like Bill Do.
Jesus Christ.
Looked like Bill Do. Looking like Bill Do. All that makeup ain't hiding what is so plain to see. Bitch, you a monkey, you a monkey. All that makeup ain't hiding what is so plain to see. Bitch, you a monkey, you a monkey. I know it made you sad and mad, girl. When you in the
Shout out to NYC Femi Love with the $2 super chat. You said that was supposed to be Mika? Let me get a timestamp. 3111. This was supposed to. Hold on. Where was that moment? Yeah, I'm not gonna find the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to fail. Yeah, I don't know about finding the moment. That was supposed to be Mika though. What the hell? I didn't notice that. All right, maybe maybe after the show.
They climb all the trees. I know it made you sad and mad, girl. When you and the primates are walking in the park, they climb all the trees. You take them at night so they're not seen in the dark. And your daughter can't breathe. Ugly bitch and ugly child. Karma is kicking your ass. They sucking pussy and you licking dick and ass. Man, gon' let the bullshit pass. You a monkey. You a monkey. You a monkey. I know it made you sad and mad, girl. You a monkey. You a monkey. You a monkey. I know it made you sad and mad, girl. All that makeup ain't hiding what is so plain to see. Bitch, you a monkey, you a monkey. All that makeup ain't hiding what is so plain to see. Bitch, you a monkey, you a monkey. I know it made you sad and mad, girl. All that makeup ain't hiding.
Damn, this song's long. What the hell? That right there, that was supposed to be Mika? So this is supposed to be Mika. When I thought this was a glitch and it's not making her a monkey, and so this is supposed to be Mika. This is what y'all are supposed to see. This is the problem. You're gonna sue for defamation and everything off a comedic song that is. I don't fuck with it because it's a monkey and you're doing the whole. You're calling black people monkeys and you're saying they look like. And you pulled a Bill Duke and said he looked like a. The whole black monkey shit. I don't fuck with. We're not gonna get mad at other races of folks for depicting us as monkeys and doing that monkey shit, and then we're doing it to ourselves. That's lame as fuck to me. But it is what it is. It's comedy to him. That's what he's doing. But this is supposed to be Mika. And then back to the monkey. Why does she have 3 arms? What the fuck?
What the hell was that?
Yo, people really gotta stop with the AI and do some creative animations themselves. This bitch just had 3 arms. Hold on. It happened so quick, man. There was like 1 frame there. She got like 3 arms in that bitch, though. What the fuck was that?
You a monkey. I'm in trouble now. Oh, oh my God, what have I done?
You a monkey.
Yeah. Hey man, let me tell you something. We do the 50. Oh, Lakeisha gave us 100 for that.
Yeah, you a yard.
He put her address. We ain't saying. Okay. Anyway, let me tell you.
He didn't put her address out. He doxed her government name, showed her book that she released, and yeah.
Something about this show. This show is where me and the group have fun. Just like Keisha said, she started doing her show, and you have fun. But you got people who really want to try and disrupt what you do. Yeah. All because they see you having fun. Let me tell you something. I don't even say names on my show.
How you say her name in monkey?
I can't wait if this thing actually goes through. It probably gets slapped out.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I needed to cover in the last stream, the anti-slap motion part of this this case. That's why he's talking about it might get slapped out. It might just get slapped out. Like, what are we doing here? Just wasting time.
California.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, man. I can't wait till people. I hope that somebody feels like they can go in front of a judge and say, look, that's me, and he was talking about me. I can't wait. I can't wait. I am too smart to get caught up with the sucker shit. I got all kind of people talk crazy. Monkeys. Zookeepers. Rapists.
A lot of them out there.
Man, it's so many people talk crazy.
How you trying to come back from a rape? How you do some rape shit? And
you work for the government and start causing drama for people.
And then come back around like ain't nothing happened a couple years ago. You got to
see. This right here is disinformation. Y'all are putting that on Flacco when it was his brother. It was his brother that did it.
I've seen him do it.
Talking about the appeals and all these things, folks have outlined it completely. It was his brother that did that shit.
Be a bold motherfucker to get back to normal from taking people's.
Yeah, that's defamatory. Y'all can't be putting a grape on a motherfucker. And he said that we don't have clearance to say it, and he's saying it. I'm like, we have to say it because it will demonetize the video just throwing around that word. That's why we say grape. It's not no conspiracy. We're working for the higher ups and TMZ to take this nigga down. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's some unaccountable bullshit. But
sexual shit.
Somebody said, Corey, why you got a pack of hot dogs on your head? Is that funny? I don't know.
Well, what is that shit, nigga? 5150? Those are specialty 5150. I'd never seen what is this shit?
With the right instrumental, that song probably would be a hit. Yeah. People be in there giving advice like they really.
Right.
It's already got your right instrumental. That's why you like it.
Somebody said Afro Man did it. How much Afro Man win in court?
He recently won some
Did
bread.
he win money, or I thought he just won it where they couldn't go out?
I thought he won some bread.
I didn't know if he won bread.
I would love to have Afro
Afro
Man on the show. He played it to a T. He had his American outfit on in court.
One of the greatest performances.
Man, will you tell him?
He really went into some real diabolical artistry on that. He killed them with his creativity. They did not know how to handle that.
They didn't. He was.
What do you do about people that want you to do what they want you to do? And they say it with all of the, like, you're supposed to be doing this. Like, for example, I just played a video of characters we created for the 5150 show, but somebody claimed the characters and said, oh, he's talking about me.
Right.
And the reason you claim the characters because it was monkeys.
That's some funny shit.
That's why you claim the characters because it was
horrible.
monkeys. I ain't said no name about nobody. I said, this for you, lame.
There's a group called the Monkeys anyway. They all white.
It was a TV show when I was growing up. They was called the Monkeys. Hey, it's the Monkeys.
Yes, I had a crush
And
on
watch
the little
us
one.
monkey around.
So you're saying that you never once implied that it was Anton and his family, and it was just Anton's insecurities that made him claim. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so.
No, so he got sued for $3.9 million over that video he did, but the jury found in his favor the defamation and privacy lawsuit.
That's cold how they
So he
broke into
won
his
that,
house.
but no monetary.
He didn't win no money?
I don't think so. Says there's no indication that he won any monetary awards after that.
Well,
It was
that
just
should be
ruled-
coming.
Right, it was ruled in his favor. So
Talking about the Afroman stuff, at the end of the day, yeah, Afroman did win, but we don't care. Why did I keep this in here? What is this shit?
But people think if you say something about them, they can sue you. I don't know why people are that dumb. I can't remember.
It's because people are aware of defamation. If you go out there and you make a claim as if it is a statement of fact, if you do what Tasha K did to Cardi B, then you may be held liable to a lawsuit. But this is none of the sort. This is not intentionally putting an STD and all sorts of fuckery on somebody and saying that it is as a statement of fact. That is not that. It's not the same at all. He's giving an opinion on your wife and your daughter. May it be disrespectful to bring up a minor at the time. She's 18 currently. But at the same time, you might have a problem with that, might be emotionally flustered, but it's not the same.
A time where people are as dumb as they are now. They really believe there's somebody, just because you filled out paperwork, somebody in trouble. If I'm in trouble, I'm really in trouble now. After that video. Oh.
well, because people have seen enough frivolous lawsuits kind of go through. You know what I'm saying?
Also,
the frivolous lawsuits that go through are because people do not go there to contest the lawsuits. They're uncontested lawsuits and judgments that are just given default judgments. The Game lost a massive default judgment against, what was it? There was some woman that sued him for millions and he lost because his dumbass didn't show up to court to contest the judgment. So that happens sometimes, and a lot of famous folks get sued like crazy. So a lot of judgments get passed, and they're not even available to actually contest the judgment. There's a lot of fuckery with lawsuits.
You want to know one of the reasons why too? Because we talk directly to the people, so they know that it's a possibility that if I do the right thing, maybe this nigga, maybe I get on Corey Brain. And he's just gonna start, you know what I mean? It's like free publicity. That's how I think they look at it. Like, maybe I could get into it with this nigga and he gonna make me famous.
Of course. Well, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago with the dudes who want me to say their name so bad. But I don't never say nobody's name. You know who name I said? Attorney Sean Holly. That's who name I say. The lady lied and went to the Improv. I couldn't say this before like I'm saying it now. She went to the Improv with a fake subpoena and told the Improv, I got to get that videotape, woo, woo, woo. We found out all of his bullshit. If I'm lying, why this attorney ain't came after me?
Right.
Because I got all of the stuff. She is in charge of all those programs and bots talking crazy because she plugged with TMZ. I'm going to ask Keisha to just look up this lady, Sean Holly, and what all...
See, this is what he does, too. He tries to mix in shit. Because there's a lot of people giving him flack, calling him out for his bullshit. A lot of people checked out of his program because of the PDF comments and the fuckery that he was doing on his platform. And all of a sudden, they're all bots. It's all bots. It's AI when Anton stood up over him. It's like, my nigga, you're unaccountable. Some people indeed checked out. Look at the numbers. They're dropped. They're still doing like 100,000 every episode after like a few days, but they used to be at 300,000. So the numbers have dropped considerably. People have checked out. There's been a whole bunch of negative reviews. Of course, bots get in here. This is online fuckery. There's people, I don't know how there's so many bots nowadays, but there's bots. But because people know that to be a statement of truth when it comes to there actually being bots, he tries to represent the bots, which is a small percentage, as the larger percentage of people that are giving him pushback and calling him out for his fuckery. And it's like, no, not all of them are bots. Some of these are real people with real accounts and channels, and you can click on their channels and see their faces because they have videos. Like, come on, man.
The corrupt things she has done. She has destroyed so many people. Terry Crews. She destroyed... man, I ain't gonna say all of that.
To be honest, I don't care about this Sean Hawley situation and whatever I don't have enough insight and information on their direct conflict, so I don't really care.
Names right now, but I'm just saying that's the name I say. That's the name I say. Everybody else, I ain't gonna say your name. Cause see, I ain't gonna say your name because I know how it go. But I want her to say I'm lying. I want her to say I'm lying. This is a world where we have access to the people who want to watch us. And like, let's say...
This is indeed live currently. Y'all hit the like button if y'all haven't hit the like button already. The chat is I don't know what's going on with the chat. The chat's kind of dead. The viewers we're here. Chat kind of dead. I don't know what's going on with the chat. Seeing a bunch of ghost watchers.
Nigga, you gotta go. The fuck is wrong with you?
The ghost watchers, them niggas need to go. Y'all need to participate in the chat. Y'all have Tandy Kane out here just by herself communicating to the chat, lost because y'all niggas is just mute out here. If y'all missed the early portion of the video where we went over the majority of the case with Judge Joe Brown, y'all might want to rewind because we're not going to go over it again. But yeah, we'll finish this off and get to the next content because we have a lot of videos up on the way. We've been kind of absent this month, but we have a lot, chat.
100,000 people watch your show. You become a target. Unless you're talking about the type of stuff they talking on CNN, Craig.
Right.
If you are a man who has something to say that is off script on your podcast, when your numbers go up, you become a target. Especially a guy like me. I ain't gonna even lie, I'm afraid for my life. I'm afraid for my life. They had the man at the airport following me, and I know what them people do. I could talk about it now. Them motherfuckers, let me tell you something. Motherfuckers talk about Corey ain't got gigs. Yeah, Corey got plenty gigs because there's people who know I'm going to sell tickets.
Yeah, but Corey, throughout this entire saga, you've been acting like somebody that is newly famous. You're acting like the fame has just hit y'all. Or just hit you. Sorry, I read this at the same time. I threw my damn brain off. Acting like the fame just hit you. While Anton's acting like he doesn't know how to be a famous person at all. He's acting like new money, new fame, and unadaptable. Because he's suing folks and getting all emotional.
YouTube ain't my main source of income. It's your main source of income. Not my main source of income, so I don't have to lie when I'm on here. But I'm saying, Craig, as your podcast...
It can be your main source of income and you still don't have to lie on the platform. Some people choose to lie and grift, but that's short-term income. That's short-term, oh, people know you're a liar now. All your videos are bullshit and clickbait. People are going to be less likely to get any information from you because they know you're full of shit. That is not a good strategy on this platform.
Bros, more drama gonna come, and if you not smart, you will bite the bait and be done did something to somebody. Because you ain't no little bitty motherfucker, Craig.
You almost did, man. That was a trying time, man.
Yeah,
they want you to do something.
They want you to, right? I was gonna say they'll test you. They'll push
Yeah,
you.
man, it's incredible.
They'll come up to your podcast, start shit with you, talk about I'm a Christian, go on Monkey K podcast, do all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, you got a lawsuit. I'm talking about the G's in L.A. was like, damn, I'm so glad you ain't hit that motherfucker.
Yeah, that was, you know what? Because if you would have hit him, then motherfuckers, I mean, that would have, I ain't going to say that.
Well, we already know what it is. So I'm saying to everybody out there chasing your dreams, you cannot go off what people want you to be. You're an artist.
Yeah, but you controlled the setting. You could have cut the show. You could have cut the cameras, cut the audio, and then just started swinging on the nigga. Like, what? Where's the proof? Where's the evidence? YouTube, I'm not condoning any type of violence. I'm not endorsing any type of violence. We're keeping this safe and PG.
You have to be independent and wear hats like this. Can you see the 5150 on my hat?
Yeah, it's written in frost. It's the Twinkies, and that's the frosting from the inside.
Yeah. Darlene.
Or little light-skinned beige penises. I don't know.
Little beige penises. Okay, D, you turn my hat back, Doria.
Stick together. Pause.
Well, somebody else earlier said that you sit on that.
Oh, that's what you said. You said a bad
what
thing,
the
they
fuck?
said. Have you noticed that?
That's what made me think of it. I was like, ooh, you know what? It kind of does look,
Cow udders?
It's kind
Yeah, it
of
looks
cute.
like cow
It
udders.
reminds me
Greg
of that.
got
What's that
40%
cartoon?
body fat. That's funny.
What's that
This ain't
cartoon?
40. Man, I got some muscles up in here, man.
Hey, yo, put the shirt down, nigga.
Pause.
The fuck?
What you talking about?
And then
Craig,
also, and
Craig still got muscles, man.
I was saying
You
also,
can't lift what you lift that day at the gym no more. I know that.
also we're on camera, Craig. Is it not true that at least they say easily between 10 and 15 pounds on somebody?
What does?
Because every time, the camera. So like every time you run into somebody, does anybody ever say, oh my God, you're so much smaller in person?
No, I pretty much size out the same.
You do not, Craig. No.
They be thinking I didn't know you was gonna be that big, is what they tell me. Like, I ain't even big like that, man. I know some.
Tall.
Man,
Both
the
you
other
guys
day
are tall.
I ate some goddamn what is it called? What is the food that ain't real? So ain't none of this food out here
Processed
real.
food, tofu.
No, the food.
Synthetic?
McDonald's, nigga?
Darlene, you know, what is the Mexican place that you told me about?
Taco Bell?
Oh,
What that I told you about.
The
Chipotle?
Mexican food
said fake
told me
food.
about that you said it ain't bad for you.
Del Taco?
Oh my God.
Oh, the vegan spot.
Vegan.
El Cocinero. Oh my God.
Vegan.
So I ate some vegan food the other day. And then
Vegan food is fake food.
And then after that night, I ate chips and guacamole.
From the same place.
No, from another place. I got the
well.
whole food, chips and guacamole. The point I'm trying to make with this is, it's not easy to lose weight. But I started getting sick. I can't eat like I used to eat, or I will fall apart.
In the hours.
Lose limbs.
All due respect, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear that.
What are we hearing at this point? What is this shit? I don't care about none of this shit. This nigga crying and struggling. What do you mean it's hard to lose weight? What is this shit? The fuck? I kept this in here? What does this have to do with the subject matter? Why am I still listening to this part? We have like, what, 4 minutes? Y'all want to listen to this shit, man? Nigga struggling to lose weight, talking about it's difficult. Like, no, nigga. Get on a diet, eat properly, burn more calories than you intake, and wait. Like, come on, man. All these victims acting like it's impossible to lose weight. No, you fat. Your eyes are on the fatty foods. You can't stop eating sugar and shit. Like, come on, man.
All that. So I'm trying to fight off the fat man. But Craig is still young enough where it ain't kicking his ass yet. I can tell. Because he just said, all I need is a couple of months. I can hit them dumbbells like I used to.
Yeah, get in the gym, bro.
140s.
How old is
I ain't never seen you do 150s, no shit like that. But
44. Jesus, he's not even 45.
he 44.
44.
Yeah, I'm 44, man. It's wild. Wow. It's definitely.
So I sound whack for that. So somebody that wanted to actually fight made all sorts of excuses, and I give them a path to getting the job done, and I sound whack. If you don't get this bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Bitch, who raised you?
Who is this nigga, man?
Man. When I started doing the show, shit, I was 30.
Like, folks complain, they give excuses, they cry about it. I give reasoning, and people get like, man, shut up, man. I give y'all a way. I give y'all an answer, so you stop crying and complaining about shit.
37.
Man, look, here's one thing about Craig that damn, what did I put? Okay.
Hey, Bonnie, yeah, Del Taco's good.
Here's one thing about Craig I give credit to. First of all, I think he's a moral man.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Craig is a moral man. And on top of that, just keeping it a buck, Craig, ever since I met him, he's always had a place to stay as a black man in America. How old was you when you first started doing this, Craig?
Comedy, I was like...
Craig's always had a place to stay. So this is the bare minimum. So the fact that he's not homeless is an accomplishment. What did I hear that wrong? Is it me, chat? What the hell was that?
A place to stay as a black man in America. How old was you when you first started doing this, Craig?
Comedy, I was like 30, 29, 30.
No, I'm talking about when you first started coming around 5150.
I probably was 36, 37. It's been about 7, 8 years. Huh?
Now, since I've known you, you had your own place, right?
Yeah.
Bro, he's 36. At the time you met him, he's 36. Of course he has his own. He's 36. What is this shit, nigga?
I had my own place since I was 19.
See, let me tell y'all something about a man who finds a way to have his own place.
At 36, wow, impressive. You have your own place at 36, grown-ass man.
You up here trying to get people thick.
Bro, what the fuck are we doing out here, Corey? Is this why I kept this part in this video?
Are we ready? Are y'all getting this? Because I want to put this out there because it needs to be said. When you are a man, especially a man with this type of color on your skin, and you can find a way, you say you had your own place since when?
Since 1920.
See, having your own place from 1920, yeah, if you're talking about at that point, you know, oh, you got your own place, it's an accomplishment. Yeah, you're 1920. It's great if our community could stop shaming folks for staying into their 20s when they can accumulate an amount of wealth while working, living in the family structure, so you can go from home to house, and you're not dusting it up, renting apartments and condos forever because you didn't save enough money from your home and you didn't build because you were so quick to try to get your own place at 19. Be great to be paying down a mortgage instead of a rent. But, you know, folks are too fixated to be independent and, oh, I got my own place at a certain age. When you're 19, it's like you can build a little bit prior to that, save up some more money. But in our community, is definitely a lot of the parents are trying to get these niggas out by 18, 19 as soon as they can get them the fuck out. So it is what it is. And a lot of folks can't live with their parents because, you know, our community, we have issues with the parents. A lot of folks have mental issues living with their parents. So it's like they want to get out as quick as possible. I didn't have that problem, but a lot of folks did.
Yeah. Since 1920. And you can find a way. You say you had your own place since when?
Since 1920. Yeah.
Since 1920.
Not 1920.
Not the year, but yeah.
Yeah, shit, that'd make me
since you was about 19 and since you was about 20. Let's just say 20. You've been able.
I stopped hooping in college. Pops had a stroke. I came back home to help out because he couldn't work no more, and I got my own spot. Yeah.
Eric Henderson, 6601, say he had his own place since he was 19 too. I have been around long enough to make this assumption. See, when a man can find a way to hold his own, that's a man who knows how to seize power.
Bro, he's 36, you fucking weirdo. What are we doing out here?
Because it's not easy.
Well, he's 44 now, but he was 36 at the time when you met him, and he was living by himself in his own place, and you were impressed. This is where you lose me completely.
In America, with all of the traps, all of the slow minds, to be able to hold your own weight, especially men of color. So, I watch Craig.
At this point,
get dude off the screen.
Oh, God. At this point, because he's just
you're a victim.
You're a victim, bro. Like, what are we doing out here? Stop selling this to niggas. Giving these niggas an excuse to be just downright dusty.
And I like Craig. And I don't have that thing with Craig where I'm like watching him and he's a motherfucker I know finna come out the bag. Now, I can't say that about a lot of people I had up here at this desk sitting by me because I watched. They've never been able to seize power as a man. They've always been dependent on their mama or woman.
At this big age, what are we talking about? That's pathetic. And you're talking about Craig seizing power. He's one of your underlings that barely gets to speak on the show. So I'm very confused here, sir.
That means something. That means something. When you can't pull your own weight in this world, and I ain't saying you got to do it at 19. I'm saying I know motherfuckers who are 40 plus still live with their mama and walk around this earth talking as if they a man.
And what do we call them niggas? Dusties. Who takes a nigga like that seriously? Are you kidding me?
I wish I could live with my mama.
And wait, I was just gonna say, and also for
I'm so confused with that speech. Which one of these dusty ass YouTubers is living in their mama's basement, 40-year-old plus, dusting it up, talking about Corey? Who is he speaking about? Who does this apply to? That he's impressed with Craig for the bare minimum, the absolute bare minimum. You're impressed with that, and it concerns me that he speaks about black men this way, especially when you're this color and you're in America and you could survive on your own. I'm like, what, nigga? Why are you preaching such bare minimum pathetic standards for black men? This victim framing, low standard, low bar, live by yourself, have your own place. By 36, I'm impressed. Stop it, sir. Stop it. This is ridiculous. This is filthy work. But shout out to everybody in the chat. I really don't want to talk about this Anton shit anymore. This Anton Corey shit, this shit getting very old. We had to wrap up the coverage because at the end of the day, when you cover a story and you're running video after video, the coverage has to be in full. So there's times where I get a little annoyed that I have to cover some of these things and I have to finish out a saga, but it needs to be covered in full because when you look back at these things and you look at the coverage and there's spots missing and certain things not covered, it doesn't look good for the channel. So we're going to definitely try to move on to other content. We have a lot of content on the way, chat. We've been gone for many days now. A lot of videos on the way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button, and help the videos by hitting that hype button. I know a lot of y'all see the hype button and for some reason the hype button's screaming at y'all.
Don't fucking touch me!
But hit that damn hit that hype button, chat. I don't know what y'all are avoiding, but slap the shit out of that hype button. Get these hypes up, chat. When we out. Yeah.